Hey. Wagwan, what y'all dealing with? Man, all I gotta say is one thing. The heat persists. We shall persist through the heat. We shall survive the heat. Anyway, we did just go into the Cam Newton interview with Dr. Bryant. I want to talk about an interview that Nick Cannon did with Dr. Bryant around the same time.
Where it's not about canceling, it's about counseling. I am joined by the founder of the Dr. Bryant Institute. She's truly a professional, kind of walks the walk and talks the talk. Welcome back.
You have to choose one. You get the man who's a better husband than a father. Because as a woman, that'll benefit you as a woman, because a man is going to be there for their kids at the level that they love the mom. And so that's why men with multiple baby mamas, I'm not saying for you, you can kind of see where the favoritism or the time goes based on the love and respect they have for that woman.
I personally feel like my children come first. And because like anyone who's dealing with me in a romantic setting have to know, like, all right, it's about the kids first and foremost. And then we can wine and dine and do all the things that we need to do to cater to your desires. I could despise the mom, but that has nothing to do with the child. And I think in our community a lot of times, first of all, I've tried to be an example in that space, because we have seen men who, because I don't rock with your mama, therefore I don't rock with you. Always focus on the child, even if you don't necessarily get along with the mom.
Statistically, that's a big reason why the divorce rate is high, because of what you just said, people putting kids first. I beg the difference. Doesn't mean the kids go without, but when you have two adults who understand that we're showing learned behavior and we're teaching our kids what a healthy relationship looks like, not just for marriage, but also them. It doesn't mean that the kids don't eat and the wife and husband does. And so the covenant is broken when it goes the other way. Making sure our relationship is healthy, which is really the healthiness of the environment for our child. But it's been the woman more who has placed the child first and totally dissipated the man out the relationship.
Only talking life.
Yeah.
Children did not ask to be here.
Right.
They are responsibilities.
100%.
As individuals, I can't put my desires and my happiness over someone that I am responsible for. We're talking about mental, physical, and spiritual well-being in a household. I much rather say, it ain't about your mama right now, I'm rocking with you. Possible, even if that hurts mama's feelings. Even in a marriage. Because I know that child is gonna grow up with a certain level of self-worth. That they didn't feel like daddy put work before me, daddy put women before me, daddy put whatever before me. If I can instill anything into my own children, you are my number one priority. Every dollar that I make is going to you.
We're not talking about the level of, I'm gonna do me at the expense of your needs. A healthy family dynamic takes balance, and it's very unhealthy for a child to feel like they are number one above authority, because what happens is they grow up to then disrespect authority, which we entitled, and they grow up with this narcissistic type of personality, even if they're not diagnosed with it, and then you have
spoiled brats.
One of the things I think is interesting about both of these ways of looking at things as it relates to parenting is they both are matters of prioritization. I think it depends on what is the right way of who to put first and for what reason. And looking at the way that Nick Cannon looks at his idea is that the children should be put first no matter what, no matter whether he's with the mother or not, which means that if he is with a woman, she would most definitely come after the children, and that he would expect for her to put the children before him. So this is his way of looking at things as it relates to who should come first in the lineup, so to speak. Dr. Bryant is bringing up a point to say that the father and the mother both put each other first, then they'll be able to make something for the children to stand on, as far as both of them being able to have something to give to the children. I think that can see some truth in both, but I would say that for me, in order to have something to give to the children, or to be able to build something to give to the children, I do believe that the father and the mother have to build with each other in order to even have something to give to the children. It's not a matter of putting the children last, like, you just leave them hanging, leave them sitting around, or them without protection or guidance or being taken care of. I think more so it's a matter of giving to the only other person that will be able to help you to build something. Because the thing is that in order to be able to have something to give to the children, you have to be able to be confident in the person that is raising the children with you, which means that you both have to be able to give to each each other and pour into each other so that you even have something to pour into the children. And I think more so this was the point that she was trying to make. I think he almost took it as pushing the children to the side, putting your own pleasures or needs or, your own wants before the children.
No, or the first place a child should see that you are not always number one is circumstantial should be at home, because life is going to teach you that you are not always going to be the butter cake of everybody's dessert. You were groomed in a certain way that life can't maintain. Is your number one or the golden child?
Accomplish things that most people will never accomplish and experience great experience because we told them how great they were from the beginning. We instilled in them that we gonna support you all the way along your ride.
That does not mean that that kid doesn't understand balance, that there's a thing called boundaries that our community doesn't seem to have, probably because of that dynamic. Baby, we've been at your football game, your soccer game, your ballerina game, daddy and I all day. It's 9 o'clock, it's shutdown time. There's a boundary where it's time where this is our time, and you're teaching your child how to grow up and not be a narcissist that then needs his woman or her man to put them first over everything, which is a fairy tale and unrealistic. You're teaching them the balance between, we are a family dynamic. There's times that daddy's gonna come first, there's times that mama's gonna come first, and there's times that you come first. More of a wholesome type of feel, not me, then creating a codependent child.
I thought it was interesting when she talked about not raising your children to think that they are the central focus of everything.
About what norms am I creating for my kids?
Looking at it from a team aspect, for them to see that sometimes you'll be in the center, but sometimes somebody else will be in the center. Sometimes it will be for the mother to be in the center. Sometimes it will be for the father to be in the center. Of course, as parents, the first thing that we're taught is that you pour everything into your child. You take everything. You take the shirt off your back and the shoes off your feet for your children. And I do believe that you should give everything that you have and that you can as it relates to being a parent. But I thought that the concept was interesting of teaching the child to know that, yes, I am important, but everybody else has a role in the importance as well. She talks about a way of looking at things as saying once the children get into the world, then they won't know how to operate. Everybody else in the world does not treat them like they're the center of the universe. And then once they get into relationships, then they are not only entitled, I would even say more so shielded from knowing what it looks like to be in a team, to the fact that, okay, now I'm in a relationship. I am not the center of the relationship at all times. I am, partially the center of the relationship. My mate is the other part of the relationship, and we are working together. If you did have this be the case as far as your upbringing, to where, like he said, my children are at the center, period, dot. I want them to know that, I'm right here. I'm doing it for you. Everything I do is for you. When they get with somebody, they're like, why isn't everything that you do for me?
Another thing is this whole toxicity and dysfunctional thing, and I'm leaving this person because they're toxic. You're going to be by your damn self, because let me explain something to you. If you get someone who's not toxic, it's because they're not human. Yes. Every relationship has some level of healthy dysfunction and some level of healthy toxicity. As a single person, you're learned, because I've learned when I was very hostile and I'm coming with it. Like I met men who gave me the reason to come with it. Now that I'm in a place where I'm like, I'm just not built like that no more.
Right.
We can talk this out, or we don't have to.
So I thought it was very interesting. She spoke about basically becoming what you want to attract in a relationship. Her talking about the fact that in her previous relationship, there may have been times that she was constantly trying to be at it and like, baby, come on, if you want it, let's go. We can fight, let's go, whatever. I'll put the pause on you. And I think that when you do that, that's exactly what type of people that you will attract. I think that no matter what, as long as you are the type of person that is anticipating pain, that is exactly what you're going to get. But I think also that if you make the proper changes and do the proper healing, you can get to a point where now you are attracting from that place of healing. So when she said, I'm able to articulate myself, I'm able to say, look, this is what I'm feeling. I'm not trying to do all the back and forth. Let's just come to a conclusion. Let's have a conversation and talk about this and figure out how we can get through to the end. And I thought that was a very powerful way of looking at it, because we always often blame the world for what ends up happening in our relationships, and it's just the men out here, they're just all like this, or it's just the women out here, none of these women ain't no good, whatever.
And let yourself be full woman, full feminine. I'm hybrid, meaning I'm alpha submissive, because I'm definitely alpha, but I'm definitely submissive. And I couldn't be with a man that I couldn't be submissive with. My last fiance was me of alpha, just alpha, no beta, alpha, and actually showed me submissive sides of me that I didn't know exist, that I fell in love with. When you're with an alpha who's a true alpha, there is safety there. And everything about your femininity, about your submissiveness will arise, and everything about your alpha dormants naturally.
It's something that most definitely, like Dr. Bryant was saying, brings out a different side of your femininity to where you have another type of understanding of what it means to release and to relax into that. Knowing that the part of you that always had to fight now is to rest. So it allows you to go into a deeper level of being feminine because you are now not anticipating a fight. So I got to watch this whole interview. I really just thought it was interesting because people, of course, correlate the whole Cam Newton and Nick Cannon thing with the fact that they both have a good amount of children with a good amount of women. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Another thing that I wanted to talk about today is something that I've been hearing about quite a bit more recently. It's something that most people have happened to them. Something that happens by chance, by accident, maybe by coincidence. But these particular women are now taking everything into their own hands to say, we are going to be single women, single mothers by choice.
The purest, most quintessential thing about this journey that I'm on is that I want to be a parent. If you want to have a baby, go have a baby.
From fertility clinics to sperm donors.
I have zero regrets.
To other Black women pursuing single motherhood. She created an online community for Black women choosing single parenthood.
It's such a non-traditional experience.
She found herself single and heartbroken.
You would want to do this on purpose?
Don't have pity on me. Like, I chose this. I'm super excited about my life because I get to make all the decisions. I don't have to fight with a partner about things.
That encourages other women to do the same.
I find this really interesting as we tie everything together with everybody talking about Cam Newton and the fact that he has all these children and saying that he's creating broken families, because it's something that I feel in essence is a woman choosing to create a broken family. Now, before everybody get on my back, because I know here y'all come okay with the blah blah blah, I am not saying that men should be let off the hook as it relates to creating families that they do not stay in. That is still creating a broken family. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I do not think that the response to it is to turn around and create another broken family. Now, I even think that adoption is different. I think that adoption means that you are literally helping a child that has a less than optimal situation to have a home that they would not have had. However, this looks a little bit like being a baby mama by choice. Just because you don't have a baby daddy don't mean you ain't a baby mama. Just because you're doing everything that you can as a mother, by taking the father element out of it, you are still creating a broken family. And there's no way that you can get out of that. It's still something where you have an element missing from that child's life, and you did it just because of what you wanted. So if you think it's wrong for a man to be creating a broken family, then the response is not to turn around and create a broken family. A lot of these issues are things that we face more on a daily basis as it relates to parents and what's the parenting tactics, and children growing up in 1 or 2 parent households, children growing up and having to understand how life works, children maybe growing up with parents who did not give them everything they needed. But I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. I mean, there's quite a few good topics inside of here, and I'm trying to hear what y'all got to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my social media right here like I always do, so y'all can link with me. Check out all of the posts and everything that I put on the page. Check it out. Also, I'm going to put my YouTube information right here as well, and I hope that you'll go ahead and go there and click subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see when I post new videos. Also, I have a My New Voice playlist on my YouTube so that you can look on there and look at all the previous videos that I've made as well. Show me some likes, show me some love, some hearts. But in the meantime, in between time, peace.